Thank you, guys. Thank you both. Congratulations, sir. I'm here with the winner and new middleweight champion of the world, Khamzat Chimaev.
Welcome back to Cage-Side News. UFC 319 is officially in the books, and trust me, this one's going to be remembered for a long time. From Khamzat Chimaev's unbelievable domination in the main event, to Dricus du Plessis showing the kind of heart that keeps him a superstar no matter the result, this was one of the wildest cards of the year. Tonight, we're breaking it all down. The fights, the reactions from the MMA community, Dana White's press conference, and what this all means for the future of the middleweight division. So hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let's get right into it. Before Khamzat and Dricus stepped into the cage, the MMA world was buzzing, and Sean Strickland was the pot. Strickland flat out predicted that du Plessis would break Khamzat, calling Chimaev a weak man. He brought up their past training sessions, saying Khamzat had walked out of the gym, quit on tough days, and even claimed that every time Chimaev struggles in a fight, he makes excuses. Strickland doubled down, saying he believed du Plessis' size and heart would overwhelm Khamzat by the 5th round. But as we'd soon find out, that prediction didn't age well.
Chimaev's a weak man. The guy retired during COVID. I was the one that retired him. He happened in our gym. But the fact of the matter is, all he had to call you and drag you back into this sport. You're always on the cusp of wanting to leave and get out of it. I just think Dricus is going to fucking break him. My predictions is Dricus breaks in round 5.
When the cage door closed at UFC 319, Khamzat wasted no time proving Sean Strickland wrong. Within just 5 seconds, he shot for the takedown and set the tone for the entire fight. Round after round, it was the same story. Chimaev dragged Dricus into his world, locking him into crucifix positions, raining down strikes, and mixing in damaging knees and elbows. It wasn't just control, it was suffocating domination. Du Plessis, to his credit, never stopped fighting. He showed insane toughness, surviving hundreds of strikes, and even threatening a late submission in round 5 with just seconds left. But the writing was on the wall. This was Khamzat's fight from bell to bell.
That guy is strong, couldn't finish. Respect that guy. The only champion who was saying my name. This guy has big heart. Real lion. African real lion. Thank you, brother.
Well, Khamzat, enjoy this moment. Congratulations, sir. You're the new middleweight champion of the world.
Thank you very much.
The MMA world lit up after Khamzat's dominant win. Some praised him, others threw shade, but everyone had something to say. Conor McGregor kept it short and sharp, congratulating Chimaev as Chechnya's first UFC champion. Sean Strickland, who had predicted Dricus would win, doubled down by claiming he's the only man in the UFC who can out-grapple Khamzat for 5 rounds. Bilal Muhammad trolled DDP, calling the fight 5 straight 10-8s, while sarcastically saying, "Shout out to Dricus, you showed a lot of heart." Just kidding. Henry Cejudo gave respect to both men, saying Dricus showed toughness, but Khamzat is simply on another level. Others like Paulo Costa mocked the fight as boring, while Dominic Cruz and Ben Askren highlighted just how unstoppable Khamzat's wrestling really was.
I said this, we haven't seen Dricus du Plessis fight a wrestler since Derek Brunson. And we saw how that fight was looking early on. Khamzat Chimaev is a very confident wrestler. And even in the striking, he was doing well. I didn't love his entries, but man, when you are just this strong.
Did you see my tweet, man? This must be the most dominant championship performance by any UFC fighter in UFC championship history. He got out wrestled. He got out controlled. There are some rounds where you can go 10-7. A champion that people were thinking, this kid could potentially go up and even become light heavyweight champion of the world. The way he was disposing of Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker, Sean Strickland, that says a lot of what Khamzat has done.
More so like, let me make it out here and say I didn't get finished. I thought he was just comfortable surviving instead of actually trying to go for it and get up and try to let his hands loose. Like Horacio said, he was going for head kicks. Didn't make sense. I know his coaches did an interview talking about, all we did was hold us. All he did was hold us. Like, that's the name of the game. If he got you down in the first 6 seconds of the fight and it was that easy, why would he want to go away from that? You made it easy for him.
Oh man, just out wrestled, but great fight from Khamzat. DDP has a lot of heart, and I love that about him. I love that he's able to transition. He took it back, had a body triangle, went for a guillotine, went for a rear choke. If you guys don't want to watch grappling and wrestling and jiu-jitsu, don't watch UFC. Go watch One Championship, go watch Glory, go watch kickboxing, go watch Muay Thai. It's very simple. You guys are complaining about something that it's a very simple problem to fix. For example, let's say Khamzat's about to fight again. You don't want to watch his style. All you gotta do is go like this. You see this button right here? It's called off button. You just go like this, you go off.
Anyone that said it was a boring fight is a casual. Now Chimaev, everyone knew the first round was going to look like that. What we didn't expect was Chimaev's ability to do that for 25 minutes. That was mind-blowing. He is the most purest build I've ever seen. He put all his stat points in wrestling.
Of course, Dana White had plenty to say after UFC 319. He called Khamzat's performance unbelievable, pointing out that nearly every round could have been scored a 10-8 for Chimaev. Dana dismissed critics who said the crucifix strikes were just pitter-patter, reminding everyone that Khamzat was mixing in elbows, knees, and serious damage. But Dana didn't forget about Dricus du Plessis. He praised DDP for showing incredible toughness, surviving hundreds of strikes, multiple crucifix positions, and still fighting until the final bell. Dana made it clear, Dricus might not have won, but he earned respect. Looking forward, Dana confirmed that Khamzat wants to fight in Abu Dhabi later this year, and depending on how the contender landscape plays out, that's a very real possibility. He even hinted that upcoming cards like Paris could shape who's next.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I had every round at 10-8, maybe except for the last round. You know, to be in the position that he was in and the crucifix and just getting dominated on the ground and punched in the face and elbowed, and it's a very frustrating place to be in. I thought he handled it well and came out every round, you know, trying to get in the fight and try to win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Are you glad the referee doesn't wave a fight off in that position?
Listen, I don't know how hard they are, and I don't want to fucking know how hard they are. Nobody wants to be in a crucifix getting punched in the head like that. It's got to be the most frustrating, you know, suck the heart and soul right out of you type thing to happen. And just getting dominated on the ground the way that he did is no fun for anybody. I wouldn't say that, you know, oh, he's getting pitted-patted striked. I mean, his face was pretty busted up. The knees that he was taking to the body and to the legs and the hips, and it's going to be a long ride home to South Africa.
In the post-fight press conference, Khamzat doubled down on his dominance. He called out both Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira, saying he wants to prove he can beat strikers just as easily as wrestlers. He made it clear his next fight should be another massive step, possibly headlining Abu Dhabi later this year.
The boy is always saying, bro, it will be good for us if you go 5 rounds so for the next fight. So we're going to have, that makes us better fighter today. So happy that's happened, but sorry for Dana White. So he likes finishes, but I tried last seconds, but make mistake.
I think Dricus tried a guillotine. I'm assuming there was never any danger.
Nah, bro, I hope I can die before the next somebody submit me there.
Okay.
While much of the spotlight is on Khamzat, this fight also showed the superstar potential of Dricus du Plessis. He took one of the most lopsided beatings in title fight history and still never gave up. Fighters like Dominic Cruz and Ben Askren praised his toughness, and even Dana admitted Dricus has the kind of heart fans rally behind. Dricus may have lost, but his stock as a fan favorite only grew.
And what did you think of DDP's performance, right? Obviously, he was outmatched in the wrestling, never gave up, though. Even in the last round, he started landing his own shots. What did you make of DDP and his toughness to survive 5 rounds?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I had every round at 10-8, maybe except for the last round. You know, to be in the position that he was in, and the crucifix and just getting dominated on the ground and punched in the face and elbowed, and it's a very frustrating place to be in. I thought he handled it well and came out every round, you know, trying to get in the fight and try to win. Yeah.
In the co-main event, Lerone Murphy scored a devastating first-round knockout over Aaron Pico. With that, the so-called Bellator curse continued, as another fighter crossing over couldn't get it done in the UFC. Alexander Volkanovski wasted no time congratulating Murphy and calling him out for December, a rare champion call-out that could set up a huge fight at featherweight.
To pull it off in the way that you did, how satisfied are you feeling right now?
Yeah, that was massive. What a place to do it, like you said. UFC 319, co-main event. I needed something big like this, and obviously the UFC is about moments. I just created a great moment then for myself, for the fans. I'm happy.
Veteran Tim Elliott delivered a vintage performance, securing a guillotine choke over Kai Asakura in round 2. Afterward, Elliott used his post-fight interview to call out the UFC for still using old-school balance scales instead of digitals, saying it's ridiculous in 2025. He not only picked up a $50,000 bonus, but also likely secured himself another contract. One of the controversies of Fight Week came when Brian Battle missed weight by 4 pounds against Nursultan Ruziboev. The two exchanged words at weigh-ins and online, with Nursultan blasting Battle for unprofessionalism. But in a wholesome moment, the fighters ran into each other at a restaurant after UFC 319, and Battle apologized face-to-face. They agreed to run it back at UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi. Visuals.
At 85, I thought it would be easy peasy. That's why I thought it would be a lot easier. I got a little bit sick towards the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? I'm very sorry. I'm very, very sorry. And you have a good one. Hopefully, one day, we can run it back. You know what I'm saying?
There were plenty of other moments worth noting. Carlos Prates picked up a bonus-worthy finish, and talk of him facing MVP in Rio is already heating up. Baisungur's UFC signing added another feel-good moment, and with bonuses going to Elliott, Murphy, Prates, and Khamzat, the stars of the night got rewarded.
Carlos Prates was doing a good job of angling and changing up the rhythm of his cadence. He was doing a good job landing that lead kick. It was southpaw over southpaw, but each time they would exchange, it felt like Carlos just had more snap, more power behind his exchanges. Jeff Neal was having a hard time just tracking him down and getting his hands on him. So they started wrestling, and then Carlos Prates started talking to him, saying, hey, you want to wrestle me, wrestle me. They disengage, and Carlos Prates goes back to the edge of the boy, starts with a combination, and then Carlos Prates threw a lead elbow, like a hammer elbow. At the very last second of the fight, he turns out there's a spinning back elbow and just hits Jeff Neal right on the crown of the head and just drops him.
The big question now, who's next for Khamzat Chimaev? Will it be Alex Pereira? Will Israel Adesanya step back into title contention? Or will Dana book him straight into Abu Dhabi against whoever emerges as the top contender? One thing is clear, Khamzat isn't just a champion. He's already one of the biggest stars in the sport.
Sean Strickland, your old friend, has been tweeting about you since the fight. He said that when you were in the gym together, he would actually out-wrestle you and be better than you in the wrestling over 4 rounds.
Bro, Dricus take him down many times, so how can he take me down? This guy, I beat him everywhere and striking, but this guy just talk too much. So he's a funny guy. He's working with, what is his name? Buratino, or what is it?
Yeah, Paulo Costa.
Yeah, Paulo. I make them together.
Khamzat, new middleweight champion. Not what I expected, but I'm glad Khamzat fixed his cardio to the point where he can go 5 rounds and just ragdoll people. That's a mess to deal with, because I thought DDP, okay, maybe round 4, he'd be able to stuff the takedowns because Khamzat would get tired, but he didn't even slow down. He slowed down DDP. The division's in good hands.
That's all for today's breakdown of UFC 319. Khamzat Chimaev dominated, Dricus du Plessis showed heart, Lerone Murphy and Tim Elliott delivered huge wins, and the MMA world is buzzing about what's next. Who do you want to see Khamzat face in Abu Dhabi? Drop your picks in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more MMA coverage, only here on Cageside News.